Good morning. It's Wednesday, April 1st. Getting ready to start our psychology lecture notes for the day. Start off with the question of the day. What is a psychological disorder characterized by episodes of anxiety, sleeplessness, and nightmares resulting from some disturbing event in the past? What psychological disorder is resulted from something disturbing event in the past? Okay. We were getting ready to start with adapting a healthy lifestyle. I'm going to kind of go through this. I've already posted a question on the Teams app, and I'll put a link on here for the Teams app. Next chapter that we get into is going to be on, let me go back here and just give you the right title, Psychological Disorders, which also includes schizophrenia. Normally with my class, I try to have the class watch the movie A Beautiful Mind. And then I gave you all writing prompts that we had before we left school. My problem is that because I bought this movie through Amazon and Amazon Prime, I can't share it with you. I put the link on, I try to open it on another computer without logging into Amazon, and it will not allow me to view the movie. So what I need to know is, and you can message me through the team apps or send me an email, I need to know how many of you could find access to watch A Beautiful Mind. If I have enough people that can, then I might go ahead and assign that, be something for you to watch for an evening or something, and then do the writing prompt, okay? Nothing major, just something else to keep us engaged and keep us doing schoolwork over this next month, okay? So if you could message me, let me know if you can find it, if you can get access to it. If you can, then I'll probably use that source. If not, we may have to wait and see if we can hold things off and get through the next chapter and we go back to school in May. Then maybe we'll take some time in May and I'll share that with you so that you can do that writing prompt, okay? So adapting a healthy lifestyle. While learning how to cope and avoid stress is important, the positive psychology movement has prompted many health psychologists to explore other ways to promote good health by adapting a healthier lifestyle. The way they do that, they like you to have a well-balanced diet, getting regular exercise, not smoking or quit smoking, and avoid high-risk behaviors, which are all important to maintain health. And that was from a study by a psychologist named Fieldman in 2002, okay? So a good diet. What is a good diet? Well, a good diet of nutritious food is important because it provides the energy necessary to sustain a vigorous lifestyle while promoting healthy growth and development. Although there are some disagreements about what exactly constitutes a well-balanced diet, here are some things that you could consider. A variety of foods, contain at least 5 portions of fruits and vegetables a day. And I would say that's probably one of the hardest, 5 portions of fruits or vegetables a day. I think back on my daily intake and I might get 2 a day. I might eat a piece of fruit sometime during the day and then usually have some kind of vegetable for supper. The only other difference would be is if I would have a salad and then also have green beans, then I might have 2. So I think that's probably a hard one, getting 5 portions of fruits and vegetables a day. For some of you might eat fruits throughout the day, have them a snack on, have them something for breakfast, something for lunch. I know my dad used to have, with his breakfast, have fresh fruit with his breakfast, and then he would have some kind of vegetable, lettuce or tomato or something at lunchtime, and at supper he always had some kind of other vegetables. So I guess it is possible. It's probably a little bit harder, but anyhow, that's what the take is, 5. Needs to be derived from plant sources, including plenty of whole grains, and be supplemented with modest portions of fish and lean meats for protein. Now, here's the thing. There's this big push against red meat for a healthy diet. But in moderation, all things can be good, okay? Yes, chicken and fish, that's the big thing. And I'll say that I tend to eat a lot more chicken than I do anything else, but I also still like to have a nice hamburger or some kind of beef or something, and some pork chops, things like that. Okay. Now, most experts advise eating a wide variety of fruits and vegetables and nuts and whole grains, breads, cereals, with small portions of fish and lean meats. Eating massive amounts of fatty meats, deep fried foods, and dairy products are high in cholesterol, like whole milk, butter, and the foods that are high in artificial sugars, like soda, candy. All those things can be considered unhealthy. How many of you drink quite a bit of soda? I've made it no secret. I haven't had a soda since most of you were in 5th or 6th grade. I just decided one day that I needed to do something to change my lifestyle. I felt that I had gotten way out of hand with my weight. If you look back in your Jefferson yearbooks and look at a picture of me then and check out a picture of me now, outside the gray in my beard that I finally decided to let go and not color anymore. Yes, you knew it. I did color the beard, but look at my face and how much thinner my face is now. And a lot of that was to do with a healthy lifestyle, trying to eat more of the proper foods and doing away with things. And I drink diet soda, which that's the rage. I want to lose weight. I want to drink diet soda. Well, there are some not so good consequences of diet soda. And I read a lot of stuff about it. And the more I read about it, the more I looked into it, that I was trying to pick a healthier lifestyle. I decided to do away with soda, period. And now I drink a lot of unsweet tea, which a lot of you are going, oh my God, how can you do that? Well, that's just the way I like it. I don't want sugars. Drink a lot of water. And those are my 2 drinks that I go to. On occasion, I'll have a little bit of chocolate milk, just because the enzymes and stuff in chocolate milk are good for your body when you do workouts. Okay. Probably the sugariest thing I drink may be one of the supplements that I drink on occasion when I go out and run or go lift or whatever. But this can help you in not only reducing stress, but it also helps you in building immunities. Okay. Eating a healthy diet. All right. Several studies have documented that eating a well-balanced diet similar to the one described above can help improve the quality of life, increase longevity, reduce the risk of heart disease, cancer, and stroke. Unfortunately, many Americans simply eat too much fast food, hamburgers, French fries, and soda. They snack foods like potato chips and candy. And I was guilty of that for a long time. Hey, now when I go to McDonald's, I usually try to get a grilled chicken sandwich if I'm going to eat something from McDonald's. Now I'll tell you right now, I like my ice cream. So I'll try to eat healthy, but I may have a couple scoops of ice cream in the evening, or back before everything was shut down and you could go in and sit down. Sometimes we would go eat someplace, go ahead and have a hamburger, have some fries, and get an ice cream. So you have to have a balance in there. I mean, I'm telling you right now, if I sit and ate like that, like I used to every day, I would be back to being 270 pounds, 280 pounds. And it wouldn't take very long. The way things are right now and the limited times that I actually get out away from the house, I'm really having to watch, because I don't want to go back to being 270, 280 pounds. That's just, for me, it's not works. It doesn't work at all. Okay. If you stay away with those chips and candies, those are high in saturated fats and sugar, and often deficit in vitamins and minerals. They are empty calories. They'll fill you up for a time, give you a lot of calories, and it never fails. 20, 30 minutes later, you're hungry again. Okay, so they're not really a good choice. Not that you can't have them in moderation, but it doesn't really help for a healthy lifestyle. Okay. Despite the abundant available nutritious foods in America, poor eating habits are in part responsible for comparatively high levels of heart disease, cancer, and stroke seen in the United States. The problem is not with the quantity of food consumed in America, as we discussed in Chapter 9, which we didn't do Chapter 9. Many Americans simply eat too much, resulting in obesity, while others develop eating disorders like anorexia, neurosis, and that can put their lives at risk from eating too little. Okay, so that's not good either. You don't want to be someone who becomes anorexic because you don't eat enough. Okay, you got to find a balance in there that fits for you. Now, you all are younger, You can eat a whole lot more at this part of your lifestyles than what your parents can or your grandparents. Okay. But, and I was told this by a coach years ago, that schools really ought to start working with students on nutritious eating, which I think in some places you might get that, which you get a little bit from me right now. But, well, nutritious eating, because 5 and 10 years after they get out of high school, they continue to still eat the same way they did when they were more active in high school and maybe college. And then they start putting on pounds. Okay, so you start putting on more and more weight. They used to call from high school to college the freshman 15, that a lot of incoming freshmen wind up gaining 15 pounds. A lot of those who have moved away from home, who live in dormitories or live in apartments and are on their own, tend to eat just a little bit more. Okay, so you get that freshman 15 is what they call it. Now I think there was a meme out there someplace that called it the COVID-19 15. You know, being isolated, not being able to get out as much, and people tend to eat just a little bit more sitting around the house. So I guess it can happen. Okay, exercise is the next big thing. The importance of regular aerobic exercise, such as jogging, brisk walking, or swimming, for maintaining a healthy body is well established. In addition, health psychologists have shown that regular aerobic exercise can also help people cope better with stress, feel less depressed, more vigorous, and have more energy. One study, for example, randomly divided mildly depressed college women into 3 groups. One group participated in regular aerobic exercise, one group received relaxation therapy, and the last group, a controlled group, received no treatment at all. After 10 weeks, the mildly depressed women in the aerobic activity group reported a marked decrease in their depression when compared to the no treatment group. The relaxation group also showed benefits from relaxation therapy, but were not as significant as the group that had engaged in regular aerobic exercising program. I mentioned the other day when we were talking about this, when I go out and jog, and by all means, I tell you right now, I'll say it again, I am not a runner. Okay, I did a lot of things in life athletically, and ran different races and stuff in middle school and high school on the track teams, but I'm not really a runner. Okay, I go out and jog, and I jog for fitness, and I jog for relaxation. It clears my mind. I listen to my favorite music while I'm jogging, and it just kind of helps me focus and helps me relax. The health benefits aside, it does that. And I say it probably reduces stress. I don't tend to be, at least I don't think I am, an overstressed person. So maybe those things come into play. I would encourage you to try to find some kind of activity to help you reduce stress. And right now, you know, whether you realize it or not, this is a stressful time. Okay, everybody's lives are upheaved and changed. Those of you who had jobs are probably being asked to work more now because they know you're not in school, and they're having problems getting people to show up, especially if your job is considered essential or you work in fast food. You might be offered more and more hours to work. Well, now starting this week, you got to start handling some of your school business too, to get by and get through this next month. So it can be a stressful time. And I know some of you have different stress levels. Some of you have different ways of coping with stress. I would strongly urge you to try to go out and find some kind of exercise, walking, jogging, riding your bike. And maybe it's out in your backyard, getting a jump rope and going back to jumping rope, you know, things like that. Just something to give you that niche, that exercise that might help you relax and de-stress. Okay. It's important to do that. Okay. There have been numerous other studies that have also demonstrated a link between regular exercise, reduced stress, increased self-confidence, and improved sleep quality. Those are out there. They're proven. And I could read you all these names of these guys and all the years they did these studies. If you want to check that out, go look in your book. It tells you all that stuff on page 472 and 473. You can see who did the studies and when they did them, okay? The other thing that comes up, and I'm not foolish enough to believe that nobody in my classes does it, but if you do, strongly reconsider, is quit smoking. While fewer Americans smoke today than in the past, Over half those who did smoke have quit. Cigarette smoking still poses serious health threats to millions of people who continue to smoke. Smoking is linked to chronic lung disease, heart disease, and cancer. In addition, smoking can reduce the quality of life by decreasing lung efficiency. The decrease in lung efficiency is why most smokers will never be able to run a marathon or participate in vigorous exercise programs. Interestingly, though, the tendency to start smoking occurs almost exclusively during adolescent years. So the desire to start smoking happens where you are now. If you do, think about it. Try to find a way to quit. I know it's easy for me to sit here and say, try to find a way to quit and stop, and because I know it's addictive. It gets to you. I had a grandfather that smoked. I had two grandfathers that smoked. One grandfather smoked until the day he died. The other grandfather, his story is that when I was young, he smoked, but he got really, really sick with a flu, and just the ashtrays in his house made him sicker, just the smell and the look of those ashtrays. And so what he ended up doing is he dumped all those ashtrays out, cleaned them all out, and never touched a cigarette again. Now, quitting cold turkey is hard. It's the toughest thing that can happen. But if you're smoking or if you're vaping, by all means, vaping has turned out to be more serious than smoking. The studies are out there. Google statistics on vaping, health statistics on vaping, and you'll see that it is more damaging to your health and to your lungs than even smoking. So I would urge you to try, if you are smoking, to stop, okay? And I'll stop with that. I'm not going to bombard you with that, because that's not what I'm supposed to be doing here, but it's just my piece of advice to you, okay? More adults who smoke want to quit, but their addiction to nicotine makes quitting very difficult. Fortunately, several alternative methods to help people quit smoking have been developed in recent years. For assistance, prescription antidepressant medications as Zabin, Wellbutrin, and Effexor, which work at the neurotransmitter level, have been provided useful in helping people stop smoking. Nicotine substances, usually in the form of chewing gum, patches, and inhalers, also have encouraging results. Just different ways for you to try to quit and try to be healthier, okay? I know with the COVID-19 stuff, one of the at-risk stages are people who smoke and people who drink, people who use now I've lost the name of it, vaping devices, because the damage to your lungs. So if you get COVID-19, you end up having a harder time, and it can be rougher on you because this is an upper respiratory virus. And if you're smoking and vaping, you're already damaging your respiratory, and it just makes it harder for you if you get it, and you got a higher rate of having more severe symptoms to death because of that. So just other ways for you to try to think about quitting if you are. And if you know somebody who is, gently try to approach them on it. If you care about them, try to talk them down from that, okay? The other thing is avoiding high-risk behaviors. Every day, we make dozens of small, semi-insignificant choices that potentially can impact our health and well-being. For example, choosing to wear a seatbelt every time you ride in the car. Although small, is one of those significant things that you can do to reduce the risk of injury and early death. If you're like me, you don't like the fact that someone told you you had to wear a seatbelt, but I also understand the safety in it. When you hear reports of car crashes and people who have had fatalities in car crashes, 9 times out of 10, it's because they have been thrown out of the vehicle. Okay. There are those other times in which the crash is so horrific that the car is smashed down or the vehicle is smashed down, but still, it's a seatbelt that saves a lot more lives, because you make it through the roll and stuff of the vehicle and you're still in the vehicle, but someone gets thrown out and that vehicle lands on them, or they get thrown out and they land wrong. So seatbelts are safe. So Other things are not engaging in unprotected sex reduces your chance of contracting sexually transmitted diseases, including AIDS. Um, Health psychologists work with public agencies. They're designing intervention programs to help promote safer choices in everyday lives. John Germant and his colleagues studied the impact of safe sex program that stressed the importance of condom use and other safe sex practices in a sample of 496 high-risk inner-city African-American adolescents. 6 months after the program began, follow-up evaluation of the participants revealed that they reported lower incidence of high-risk sexual behavior, including unprotected intercourse, than did adolescents who did not participate in the program. Research like this underscores the importance role that health psychologists play in helping people learn to avoid risky behaviors. Okay, I'm going to stop there. We've kind of ran into 20 minutes already, and I've tried to tell you that I'm only going to go somewhere between 10, 15, 20 minutes when I do these. If we were in a classroom, it'd be a little bit different. I could ask you questions and stuff, but I think I probably covered about the same information that I would have if we'd have been in class. Okay. Remember, if you can message me and let me know if you can have access to be able to watch A Beautiful Mind. I would like to be able to do it with the next chapter. I don't know when that'll be. There's not much left here in this chapter. So I would say by the end of the week, I'm probably going to be sending out your study guide for you to work on and turn back in through the team apps probably by next Wednesday. It can change because I think Friday we're not supposed to be having an actual school day with the students. It's a day for your teachers to get together and their subject matters and kind of create a plan and see what everybody else is doing to see if there's something more that we can do. I have problems with using the Zoom app, so I don't know if I'll do a Zoom meeting. We just were emailed some information about people getting into your Zoom meetings, hacking in and causing problems. So to me, that's just not worth the risk. I can do this YouTube and send it out there. Yeah, other people can see it and I can be criticized, but well, I'm doing the best I can. So I want you to be safe. Follow the guidelines that are out there. And if you have to go to work because you work someplace that is still open and working, be careful, be cautious, keep yourself protected. I want to be able to meet back with you in May and see everybody there and everybody come back healthy and not being affected anymore by this and what we can be. Have a great day, and I'll be back tomorrow morning.